Happy Awoken Wednesday, Awoken. Welcome back for another Awoken Wednesday episode, special guest episode of Awoken with Aulden. Thrilled and pumped up to be back with the Awoken you guys on this Wednesday evening. Started a little later, had some stuff come up, but no big deal. We're still going. We're still providing you only the best information with the best guests as well. So we're going to be our main topic tonight with the March Madness tournament beginning here soon, or it has begun. They were playing games last night. Howard University School, located within DC, advanced to the round of 64. They won their play-in game. They live to fight another day. They'll play sometime tomorrow. So congratulations to the Bison on their victory yesterday evening in Dayton. So tournament's going on, and figured a good topic would be something that I believe you guys a couple times have mentioned in the chat, is sports gambling, NIL, the whole new deal with college sports. As I've said before, I was a college athlete myself in college, so this directly, I had impacted by this for sure. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be doing some bracket predictions as well. Make this a little fun episode. We've been talking about the Middle East a whole lot, so wanted the topics for this week's episodes for the anchor shows to be something a little different. We talked about Ireland on Monday. If you haven't seen that episode, definitely go check it out. Also, if you have been following along with our Iran War Day X series, in the mornings in DC, we're walking around DC, talking to you guys, talking to people. If you didn't catch it today, we saw James Fishback, the gubernatorial candidate for the Sunshine State, running in the GOP primary. We filmed it, live streamed his remarks in front of the United States Capitol today. You want to check that out. He's a good America First candidate. So you'll definitely want to check him out, check out the video. So you should definitely do that. As well, we discussed Joe Kent resigning from the counterterrorism department within the White House. And we're going to read his full letter here in a moment, his resignation letter. His resignation letter that he submitted yesterday. So we're going to be chit-chatting about that a little bit. We talked about that this morning. We'll read the whole letter for you this evening as well. We talked about Tucker Carlson. Joe Kent was on Tucker Carlson this afternoon. I haven't had a chance to watch that podcast yet. I'm sure there's some cool stuff that was included. Maybe Mr. Kent has some insights from being within the belly of the beast itself that he can share with us. We also discussed several other topics. Did the Iran war update per usual. The Strait of Hormuz oil prices still all over the place. So a lot of stuff we've been chatting about in the morning stream. So you'll definitely want to make sure. Parker is a very engaged, interested chatter for the community. Always has wonderful questions. So definitely join Parker and some of the others in the morning streams as well as the evening streams like we do here. Would also love to remind you, if it's your first time listening to the stream online or on YouTube watching the live stream, would love if you hit that subscribe button, leave the video a like. That's one of the best ways you can support the channel. As of right now, we are quickly ascending to 600 subscribers. We're only a couple away, so would love if you hit that subscribe button and helped us reach 600 subscribers by the end of the episode. So, fun little story. I've mentioned this on the morning streams, but at the beginning of last week, we were at around 390 subscribers. So we've tripled. I believe that's tripled. We've added essentially 200 new subscribers within the last couple of days alone. So we're on some momentum. We're taking the channel to the next level. So deeply appreciate you guys being here, checking the channel out, becoming awoken, helping your friends become awoken as well. So and you can find us if you don't have YouTube. We upload these videos to Spotify, Rumble. We're on X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. So we're on 7 different platforms. You want to make sure that you'll be following on all 7 of those platforms so you don't miss a second of the show or any of the live streams. Okay, so before we'll check out some of the comments that we have so far, and we'll also go into Joe Kent's resignation letter, what that means for the Trump administration, if there will be a domino effect, something like that occur. So let's see who we got here tonight. Parker said, "What up, chat? Who do y'all have winning March Madness?" RDD 42 is going with Texas Christian University to win the tournament. Let's see if the Horned Frogs, let's see if they can win a couple games or advance, stay alive a little bit for RDD 42. And then Parker adds, "I don't watch basketball, so I don't really know." Ronwin Ant says, "Good evening." Good evening, Ronwin. Thank you for joining the stream this evening. Glad to have you with us on Awoken Wednesday. Happy Awoken Wednesday, everybody. And Parker says, if you're taking a visiting senator to dinner in Evansville, are you going to Taroni's or Gerst House? I did research. Probably have to do Taroni's. That pizza is some of the best pizza I've ever had in my whole life. So that's a good question. They're both a little... Gerst House might be a little nicer in terms of atmosphere, menus, table, other property within the premises. However, unless if you are trying to get some German beer or some other alcoholic beverages, then I'd say in terms of food, they're almost a tie. So might as well go somewhere a little more historical, go somewhere close to the... you could, after dinner, you could show them the senator, the University of Evansville. It's just right across the street from Taroni's. So, great question, Parker. Thank you for being here this evening. Okay, so we're going to dive right into Joe Kent's resignation letter. And we'll read this. So, Director of National Intelligence, National Counterterrorism Center. So, a little backstory on why we're even talking about Joe Kent or his relation to the White House is that he ran for Congress a couple cycles. He was unsuccessful both times, but was joined the Trump admin after the president swept the 24 elections. Kent was swept in right with him, and he resigned yesterday in opposition of the Iran war, and we're going to read his statement here. Quote, President Trump, after much reflection, I've decided to resign from my position as director of the National Counterterrorism Center effective today. I cannot in good conscience support the ongoing war with Iran. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, and it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. I support the values and the foreign policy you campaigned on in 16, 20, and 24, which you enacted in your first term. Until June of 2025, you understood that the wars in the Middle East were a trap that robbed America of the precious lives of our patriots and depleted the wealth and prosperity of our nation. In your first administration, you understood better than any modern president how to decisively apply military power without getting drawn into never-ending wars. You demonstrated this by killing Qasem Soleimani and defeating ISIS. Early in this administration, high-ranking Israeli officials and influential members of the American media deployed a misinformation campaign that wholly undermined your America First platform and sowed pro-war sentiments to encourage a war with Iran. This echo chamber was used to deceive you into believing that Iran posed an imminent threat to the United States and that you should strike now. There was a clear path to a swift victory. This was a lie, and the same tactics the Israelis used to draw us into the disastrous Iraq war that cost our nation the lives of thousands of our best men and women. We cannot make that mistake again. As a veteran who deployed to combat 11 times, and as a Gold Star husband who lost my beloved wife, Sharon, in a war manufactured by Israel, I cannot support sending the next generation off to fight and die in a war that serves no benefits to the American people, nor justifies the cost of American lives. I pray that you will reflect upon what we are doing in Iran and who we are doing it for. The time for bold action is now. You can reverse course and chart a new path for our nation, or you can allow us to slip further toward decline and chaos. You hold the cards. It was an honor to serve in your administration and to serve our great nation. Joseph Kent. Okay, so a pretty, right, couple of things immediately stand out, right? He's very blunt and forefronting that he believes the war is started because of Israeli influence, whether AIPAC, other government lobbies. Being in D.C., you hear about these groups very frequently at a high rate. Also, a couple other things that stuck out was he was with it until June 25, which I think a lot of President Trump's voters, particularly that were very anti-war, no more wars in the Middle East, were kind of on board with him until the Operation Midnight Hammer. Then I think that made a lot of people turned off politically. So we are going to be, just a couple things that come to mind immediately. So in the comments, leave what you think. If you think Joe Kent did the right thing, or if you have any thoughts on him. Okay, so with that out of the way, we have a couple other comments. Lionman383, welcome back, Lionman383. Thank you for joining the stream tonight, brother. Glad to have you here. Aulden, I just lost my money sports betting. I was up, but I kept going and lost it all. Please pray for me. I just left the chat, so I don't know if you replied to my comment. I'm here now, though. Sorry, Lion. We'll be thinking of you tonight. Very, very unfortunate situation that you find yourself in. Hopefully we can. My pal here can share some insights on it, maybe helping you chase those losses in particular. So, and that's actually a great segue. So, Okay, got a couple of new. Lion Man says, "Hey Alden, it really sucks. It's so moronic." Uh, and Parker Whitaker said, "Dude is straight up guy, not about no BS, and not going to sacrifice the future generation." In responding to Joe Kent, yeah, I think well, it'll be interesting to see if anyone follows him out the door, right? If this leads to a domino effect, or if there's any other administration personnel that might publicly come out against the war. We're just going to have to see how uh, tight of a lid Susie Wiles can keep on the entire White House apparatus as a whole. Okay, so that's actually a wonderful segue to bring on our guest this evening. Excited, thrilled to bring on Zach to the bring him on the screen here. Zach, great personal friend of mine, been friends really since can ever remember. Honestly, big sports guy. Uh, he's always on top of the which parlays to put together, what the teams are, who the best players are, and all that. So, without further ado, we will bring on Mr. Mosseller to the stage.
What's going on, man? How are we?
Hello, hello, Zach. Zemo Sports. Actually, Zemo Sports just launched his own YouTube channel, his own podcast as well, just a couple of months ago. Not super long after mine. So, yeah, thrilled to have you here, Zach. Here, I'll remove the comment section for a moment.
No, I like
Yeah,
it. I like it.
you
Keep
like
it
it?
up.
Okay, all right. Let's
I
keep it
just
going.
saw a comment
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
Patriots.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, yeah. Would you? Lion Man says parlays are a great way to lose money. LOL.
oh, parlays are a
Yeah.
great way to lose money. I
Yeah.
actually
Mm.
just hit a parlay today for $408. I actually
There we
just hit
go.
one just like 10 minutes ago. So, yes.
Wow, lineman. Yeah, lineman. You may need to check out Zach's
Yeah.
podcast. It might help your financial situation
Yeah.
potentially a little
So,
bit.
speaking on that, I won 700 on Sunday, and then today I won 408. So,
Wow.
we're doing really well with these parlays.
Yeah, that's rent money right there, basically.
Literally.
Yeah, in two
Yeah.
days. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you please send me 168? How
Oh,
about
that's yeah.
how about you just join my Discord and I can send you some pics.
Heck yeah, bro. And then Parker Whitaker adds Ride the High.
As
Um,
always.
yeah, Ride the High, man. So yeah, Zach, if you just want to introduce yourself and just tell us what
Yeah,
you're
so
about. Yeah.
you kind of hit on the head, man, earlier. Alden and I grew up together basically our entire life. We're both from Evansville. He was actually
Mhm.
speaking on Toroni's. And to be honest, I hate Toroni's. I think it might be the worst pizza I've ever had.
Oh, no way. Not
So
it.
we can go back and forth on that one, but
Mm,
if it were up to me, I would definitely go Gersthaus,
mm,
just for the German atmosphere. But anyway, yeah, big sports guy, uh, whole life playing baseball, basketball, play a little bit of football. As you can tell, big Patriots fan, Celtics
mm,
fan, everything Boston over there.
mm,
But yeah, and continuing with the FanDuel app right now, so I've always got that loaded up, ready to
mm.
go.
Alrighty.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so that's it about me.
Mhm. Yeah, and some main topics that we're going to be discussing in particular for you guys. We're going to be talking about NIL, transfer portal, college sports, what it is today, and all that stuff. So we do have a little slide deck prepared for you guys once again. So we're going to pull that up here right now. All right, wonderful. So yeah, you have just like Zach just had on his cell phone. You have the FanDuel pulled up with all the different over and unders and
Yeah.
uh, what is that spread betting, like if they're going to
Yep.
hit over or under the spread,
Yep. Money
whatnot.
lines, player props, all of it. Yep.
All that good stuff. So Yeah, we're going to be talking about how money has really it had before, but now it's very we can see the impact that cash has had on the college game. And we have a comment from uh, at Ronald Ant says, "Hey Zach, honey." Yeah.
Hey, second mom.
Awesome, awesome. We got a packed seemed like a little packed house tonight. Lion and Parker and Ronnie join if you're and R double D for too. Can't forget him. But yeah, if you're just kind of watching, feel free to join the chat. You know, make some new online buddies. Join the party. Alrighty, so yeah, we're just going ahead. So as we kind of mentioned, we see this 5, 6 years ago, particularly around the pandemic, the virus. It really took off, but the gambling has
Hmm.
grown tenfold, I'm sure, in the last 2 years. I remember after the Super Bowl, or before the Super Bowl, it always sets a record of the highest number of dollars spent for betting, you know, the most bets placed in history. And it just keeps going up and up every year. Um, and also, just with college sports, that's just the pro side of it. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be betting on the tournament, whether that's the outright winner or individual games within the tournament.
Hmm.
And it's really changing everything. We're seeing this players being harassed at times and other situations. So, is that would you have any general kind of thoughts on what's
I mean,
changed recently?
yeah, the whole NIL deal has changed college athletics tremendously. So you're not going to see all these lower schools grabbing some of the top athletes that maybe in the past they may have had a shot at it. But I mean, with money coming in, you're going to have all these transfers. And, I talked about this in my podcast, NIL or transfer portal. What's the bigger issue? And yeah, money does drive it, but it's the portal aspect that's kind of what's carrying it. So yes, while
Mm-hmm.
NIL is consistently being used as the front runner, the portal is the main problem. But here's the thing, like I agree that the NIL, like I think that's great for the players. I think the players should receive some incentive because you also got to think about it this way. Those college athletes, they don't have a job that they can go to outside of practice to where they can afford to live, in the college dorms or in an apartment or whatnot. And so I think it's good that they're making a name for themselves, but just from the fan experience, it's definitely hurting the game because you're going to see a lot of the same teams coming in and out of championships.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a great point, and yeah, we see like the tournament. It's always, and we've even something that maybe not everyone is aware of, but let's take Evansville for example. University of Evansville basketball team. They are hurt. It's like a double whammy for these smaller schools that just don't
Hmm.
have the money because anytime, let's say they do have a solid player, just a school like Illinois or Indiana or Louisville, if they get good enough for some of these schools, those schools have to do is just shell over a little bit of
Yeah.
money, and the schools like Evansville, Indiana State, a lot of the teams in the Valley are the ones that are hurt by this. So, and you also mentioned athletes in general not having much time. As I've mentioned on the show before or in the mornings that I was a D1 college athlete myself, and there really is not much time outside of studies and practice and
Yeah.
hydrating. So it does help for there to be, um, some NIL to help some of these college students for sure. Got a couple of questions. Parker is asking what team in the 2026 field is currently seeking the first March Madness victory in its program's history.
Yeah.
Mm.
Typically with those, it's going to be your 16 seeds. So, uh, I think it's Prairie View, maybe. Is that what that team is? Or Prairie View?
Prairie View,
A&M?
A&M. Yeah.
Yeah. And Queens, I think, is seeking their first as well. So those are
Okay.
two teams for sure. And those are, like I said, they're going to be 16 seeds. So
Mm. Gotcha. And Bravery Bold says, "Dude on bottom is sexy." So I think you have a an internet crush.
I appreciate it.
See most sports.
Appreciate it,
Yeah,
Bravery.
yeah. And then Parker Whitaker. A couple other questions. If you could delete one rule from the modern game, like take foul, 3 second key, transition, take foul to make the sport more entertaining, which one goes and why?
That's a tough question. Are we talking about all sports? Because you said modern games,
Mm,
so I would assume it'd just be basketball.
mm,
But you also got to think about it this way: the college is different than NBA, so there is no 3 second at the bottom of the key for college because
mm,
you can stay in that lane for as long as you want. Now, I wish that college would put that into the from the NBA because I think that would just be awesome to have. 3 second rule would be amazing in college. So you can't just sit down there in the paint. I think it opens up the court a lot more, especially that we see in the NBA.
mm.
But I mean, to answer your question, I guess it would be the 3 seconds in the lane for college. Um, but correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure they don't have that for defensive 3 second. I know they have it for offensive,
Mm.
but defensive 3 second, I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah, I think you can just park down there, really
Yeah,
cement yourself in the
correct.
lane. So,
Offensively, you can't.
mhm,
Yeah.
that's what I think you're right. And then, okay, so yeah, let's just do a little brief over for the viewers at home that might not be super aware of some of these details or like what's name, image, and likeness, right? Um, been around a couple years now. Like I said, around the pandemic is when a lot of this stuff started to blow up, and athletes could, for the first time, legally were able to kind of advertise themselves. There's a couple. An example that comes to mind is was it um, Doug Effort, the guy on St. Peter's, signed with um, Buffalo Wild Wings. So these
Yeah.
athletes, they're able to sign wherever, make a little extra money, help with expenses, car payments,
Yeah.
whatever.
The Peacocks.
Yeah, yep, St. Peter's.
Yeah.
And but yeah, if you have any, yeah, would you like to add some more
I
details
mean,
to that?
I mean, straight up, I mean, it's just your name, image, and likeness. I mean, it's just how much you can make off of those endorsements. So, I mean, that's really about it
Mm-hmm,
as far as what NIL is as a whole.
mm-hmm,
And you will see this as we're already seeing it transitioning into kind of like that pro atmosphere in college sports now,
mm-hmm,
where these players are getting paid to come in from, endorsements and from boosters as well.
mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then yeah, let's just go back in history a little bit, just kind of like why NIL happened. We remember growing up, whether it was John Calipari and the Memphis team, it had to do with details about even the brother traveling on the plane, or what Derrick Rose SAT. That wasn't more NIL, but you have some. What wasn't Bruce Pearl in trouble for hosting kids over at the and doing dinner or
I mean,
something?
if you really want to go back into it, there's a lot of coaches that could have been in hot water.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you want to take Nick Saban, you can take your boy Cal,
Mm-hmm.
paying these players under the table. So there's a lot of coaches that did it, and
Mm-hmm.
whether or not we can prove it is a different story. But now that it's legalized, we can pay these players. It's a lot different instead of having to
Mm-hmm.
do it under the table because we all know coaches were doing it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and like it was a Yeah, just Bill Self. Maybe what would Bill Self get in trouble for again?
I don't remember off
Yeah,
the top of my head,
yeah.
but I hate
Perry, yeah.
Kansas. So
Perry Ellis being 97 years old,
yeah.
97th year senior.
I mean, we had a guy. Do you remember Javon Carter?
That name rings a bell.
Yeah, he was bald by the time he was a freshman, but
Hmm.
man, I thought that dude was playing in the league for 10 years. Every
Mm,
year, I'm like, oh, he's back on the court again.
mm,
So I don't know if the chat knows who Javon
mm,
Carter is, but
mm,
I swear he spent 8 years in college.
mm. Um, and then who's the um, oh gosh, there was someone else that I was just thinking of, but I can't remember that team anymore. Um, oh goodness, yeah, it slipped my mind. However, um, yeah, that's just a little backstory on why NIL kind of happened, um, and whatnot. Because yeah, whether it's the cheating or there was always it had been a debate. I remember in high school, probably some of our classes, whether it was sports marketing or something. I remember this was always a debate whether the players
Yeah.
should be paid.
Well, I mean, I don't think it really has to do with the whole cheating and stuff. I don't think that's really where the argument comes from. That was just something that you could discuss on the side. Um, I mean, the real argument is should these players get paid for what they do and what they bring to the NCAA and their college?
Mm,
That should be why NIL happens
mm,
as the main argument.
yeah, totally. Yeah, Truck Visor app says that's a lame argument. Would you like to provide some specifics? Maybe we can engage with that.
I think he was talking about the
Mm,
cheating.
mm, mm,
Yeah, which I see why he said that. That's really not what the argument was.
correct.
That was just a thing that we could talk about on the side
Mm,
of it not being legalized yet.
right. Mm. And let's go into how this the name and image and likeness is implemented, plays out. We have these, uh, right? We hear it about it all the time. The boosters. Remember, there's even something about what is his name? Penny Hardaway,
Yeah.
Memphis guy. He was in trouble for something with the boosters,
Yeah.
or um, I can't remember exactly. But then you have like, as you mentioned, it was already happening with the bigger schools. They would find ways to work around it legally, but um, yeah, that's just kind of the way it is there. Um, it was already happening at the bigger schools, and these, but now these super athletes, right? They're making all the money. I remember I was a swimmer in college, so none of my teammates were. None of us had Lamborghinis or were, uh, making hundreds of thousands of dollars from NIL. So it's really still
Yeah.
basketball, the college football for the most part, and
Yeah.
it also deals a lot with recruiting, right? So if you
Yeah.
have anything to add to that.
I'm curious to see what this guy means by AI will change the revenue of schools.
Hmm. Yet said we're short sighted and that AI will change the revenue of schools. They will have all their students feeding a model they will outsource and make an astronomical return from. NIL will go through up.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't understand how AI is going to change how players are getting paid, nor do I know what UP is.
Yeah. Hmm.
Never heard of I need to look this up because I'm really curious to see.
Yeah, interesting. Maybe he can clarify some stuff here soon. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I don't
just a
know.
little. Mm-hmm. Hmm. But however, I'll kind of keep things going a little bit while you check into that. And that's just a
Yeah.
little bit for the audience how NIL is actually working. And now something that you alluded to it is the oh, Parker said he's asking AI to come up with the question. LOL.
What?
I think
I'm so confused.
AI is AI is changing everything. But
I can't stand
yeah.
it, to be honest with you.
Mm, yeah. So let's go into the transfer portal era, and
Yeah.
even something that I just thought of was is that Alabama player wasn't he drafted in the G League, played in the G League, or had a
Yep.
contract?
Yep. Yep. And then he was playing in the G League, yeah, and then he got pulled up to play for Bama. Yeah. And then they ended up losing that game to
Mm,
Tennessee the night he got called up.
mm. Is he still? Do you know? Is he still on the roster? Like,
I
is he
don't
still
think so.
playing?
I don't
Oh,
know. I don't know the
oh,
answer to that one.
yeah.
If anyone does in the chat, that'd be great, but I don't know
Mm,
the answer to that one just yet. And I
okay.
can probably figure that out, but
Yeah, we can check that out at the end. We'll definitely make a point of it. But however, we have these big transfer portal. We're seeing sometimes the players are leaving every year. They're going to a brand new team, and we're understanding is I had a coaching change while I was in or a couple actually. There were some a couple coaching changes. So like if that happens and you go to a school expecting this coach to be around, I think people generally are a little more flexible when it comes to that. But other than that, we're seeing some of these student athletes transfer 3, 4 times while in college.
yeah, I mean, here's the thing with the portal, and there should be some type of regulations to whether or not you can transfer. So I personally think it should be every 2 years you should be allowed to transfer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the bigger question is, are these students getting the education every time that they transfer? And a lot of the times it's no. When you got a guy transferring from college to college to college, obviously those credits are going to differ from college to college as well. So are these students getting the education? The simple answer is no. And then on the other side, if your head coach leaves and
Mm-hmm.
you're in your first year, I think you should be allowed to go somewhere else. So if you're playing for Alabama and your head coach is gone on your freshman year, then you shouldn't have any contract saying that you have to stay another year if
Mm-hmm.
you want to follow your head coach, or even if you don't want to follow your head coach.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just it's such a weird era of what we're in, and I'll reinstate this. Like I said earlier, the NIL is not necessarily a problem. It's the portal that's the issue. Money is going to come and go depending on how well of an athlete you are. Like that's fine. It's just it's the portal that needs tightening up.
Mm-hmm. That's a common frustration I've noticed from sports enjoyers, sports fans across the country, and we're also seeing like the rebuilding teams every year. So
Yeah.
some of the bigger schools, like with Kentucky, for example, is that John Calipari, there's mutual understanding after the 23 season, I think.
Yeah.
And then Mark Pope, the next coach, is able to swoop in the very next year and build a whole different team that's ready. It doesn't take 3 to 4 years to build a team now if you don't want it to be. You can build a team over the off season with the free agents and the transfer portal
Yeah.
uh, going on and whatnot. So,
Yeah.
um,
And
yeah.
I, I really wish now this isn't as big as a problem for college basketball because of what we see in March Madness, but like college football, you're never gonna have a mid-major team or someone probably in the mid range of a Big 12 able to make a push for college championship. It's just not going to happen. I know we got to see IU win a championship, which is I'm still in shock about. Like I don't even know how Indiana ended up coming out of nowhere and pulling that off. So you can put an asterisk beside Indiana. Uh, but yeah, you mean your mid majors are just going to be depleted when it comes to college football. I think college football has taken obviously the biggest hit of it because of what we see in March Madness every single year. Anything can happen. Basketball is such a game of runs. Football is just a little different. So when you look at it from that perspective, college football has taken the biggest hit.
Mm. I hear that. I hear that echoed. Your point's echoed. Okay, we got a couple of new comments from the audience tonight. Pretty chatty group we have, and that's wonderful though. We have with us tonight at Fred TM-E9F. NIL is good for college sports. I believe it's the contracts and the portal that needs regulated. So yeah, echoes your point there.
Yeah, and he even
Portal.
said 2-year contract makes more sense. Like,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, I hear you, Fred. I agree completely with you. So,
Yeah. And then Truck Visor app. I'm not asking AI. The future of you and I is having students data train AI models, the best young minds training models. This will be monetized. That money is going to make NIL explode through the roof. And then Parker has a question. Do you think students that get injured in college while playing sports should continue getting their scholarship even though that they can't play?
I want to go back to is it Tuck or Truck?
Looks like,
Um,
yeah, I think it's Truck Visor app said, and he adds, "That's why I said you're short-sighted. I know you don't know. That was my first sentence."
okay, this dude doesn't make any sense at all. So, this dude's an idiot. Um, going to Parker, like, what are we doing here? Um, yeah, I mean, I do think athletes should still get paid. I mean, it's a gamble that you take on a player, and it's not like you can control if they're going to get injured or not. I mean, you brought him in there to help you with your team, so
Gotcha. And Roy says, "Oh, welcome, Roy. Welcome to the chat. Thank you for joining the stream this evening. This is definitely complicated with labor laws. Hopefully, the transfer portal is reined in a bit." Yeah. Any
I
thoughts
can't wait
on
for this
that?
this truck dude to comment back.
Yeah. And then Parker adds, "Heck yeah, makes sense. Good answer." Awesome, awesome.
Appreciate it.
We'll head to the next slide here. Here's, I believe, you've enlightened a lot of people on gambling through your habits, your enjoyment with it. You've helped already shown to Lion tonight that
Yeah.
you're capable of winning the big bucks.
Yeah, let me just put
Yeah.
this on screen real quick so you guys know I'm not lying. Um, this was just from today. Jamal Murray and Okongwu, first basket.
You guys see that? Here, I'll see if I can make you full screen or larger screen or something. There we go. Yeah. Dang. That's pretty good. That's pretty
Yeah.
good, bro.
A
Yeah.
little two-legger,
Mm,
$10 to win 408. So it was nice.
yeah.
But dude, it is such a wave. You're gonna have your highs, you're gonna have your lows. It's just figuring out whenever you start to drop, how do you taper it so that way you don't reach into your own account and plug that in. But that's just gambling 101.
Yep. Absolutely, dude. Alrighty. So we are going to yeah, let's kind of continue. So some of these apps, yeah, started just a couple around a little under a decade ago. We see a lot of, especially on the commercials. If you're watching March Madness, I'm sure every commercial break, there's going to be something about FanDuel or DraftKings or any of these Caesars, any of these major companies. Um, they're able to make enough money that they're able to advertise about every couple minutes. So just kind of keep that in mind. In these college games, a lot too. We're seeing whether it's some states. You might be a little better to speak on this, Zach, but in some states there is um, you can't bet on the college player props or something. It's because many of these students are being harassed or whatever after games, or they're getting death threats online, etc. And gambling, it is a lot of younger people
Oh
engage
yeah,
with it. Mm,
for sure. As soon as you hit that age, the legal age limit, boom, you're
mm,
downloading it. So it's an easy way, hopefully, to make money, but it's also an easy way to go in debt.
mm.
Um, I want to. Oh, do you mind reading that? He said, "Y'all are haters."
Yes, okay, so he had a couple of comments here. Any student on any scholarship can transfer any amount. Why can't athletes? Y'all haters, this is just because y'all didn't get the money. Don't mean y'all should hate on these kids. All students in America can transfer whenever. Why are athletes different? Then Parker has another good question here. Do you have a specific strategy or system you follow, or is it all gut
Mm,
feeling? And then
okay.
Roy says gambling apps are clearly predatory and taking advantage of working Americans. It is out of control.
First of all, going back to truck or tuck or whatever it is, um, we're not hating on these kids. No one is hating on anybody. Like we want a tighter system in the transfer portal so that way we
Mm-hmm.
can view a better game in a sense. But these kids should like get money. Like no one's hating on the kids. Like they deserve this money. They're going out there putting their bodies on the line, just like how professional athletes do. So
Mm-hmm.
no one's saying anything bad about these kids. So I don't know what this dude's talking about. Do you have any specific strategy or system you follow, or is it all a gut feeling? Um, yeah, some of it can be gut feeling. When it comes down to like basketball, that especially first baskets, you can look at percentages. I mean, I typically do, as far as like, hey, this guy in the last 10 games or last 20 games has shot the first basket and has made a certain amount within that as well. So with the NFL, I definitely look at like models, defenses, all of that stuff. So NFL is a little easier to bet on than basketball. And then for baseball, I always go to pitching matchups. So if it's a righty versus lefty, or let's say that Paul Goldschmidt is up and he destroyed lefties last year. If I know he's facing a lefty, boom, I'm taking him. So it just depends on the matchup. So
Yeah, just a little mix and matching.
yeah,
Mm.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of it is definitely gut feeling like, hey, tonight I took Jamal Murray and someone else. I'm like, dude, I just feel like Jamal Murray is going to be the guy tonight. He has yet to score in the first couple or last couple games, first one to score. So I'm feeling Jamal Murray tonight. So that's why I picked Jamal Murray.
Good choice. Okay, let's head to the next slide here. Talking about, as Roy said, a lot of working Americans are spending a lot of their extra money. A lot of young people struggling financially, but continue betting.
Yeah, and here's the thing,
Yeah.
dude. Yes, mental health is definitely a big problem for a lot of people. But if you're struggling with gambling, just delete the app.
Mm-hmm.
It's not complicated, or just call the helpline. They'll ban your account completely. So if you're having trouble with that, then delete the app, call the number, and don't mess with it anymore.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Good advice. Yeah, we're talking billions of dollars every year, particularly in March Madness time. All the turn tomorrow and Friday when there's 16 games on each day. There is a yeah, there's going to be tens of thousands of parlays, individual bets, all that good stuff happening. Now all these NIL deals also add a bunch of money into. So what we're trying to paint the picture is that college athletics now have all of this financial capital invested within the ecosystem there,
Yeah.
and now some of these, particularly these larger schools, are raking in the dough.
I mean, yeah, it's not just college sports. I mean, it's professional as well. So,
Mhm. All over the sports world. Okay, so
yeah.
we got a couple of um, new comments here. Parker says, "Do you find that having money on a game makes it more entertaining or stressful?" And then adds biggest rookie mistake you see people making on gambling apps.
Um,
Yeah,
let me go back to what he said initially. He said, what did he say of
if you have more money on a game, or wait,
does it
who?
make you more stressful?
Yeah, Parker's
Oh, for
comment.
sure. Without a
Mm-hmm.
doubt. I mean, you're constantly like, for example, like touchdown scores, right? You're watching a game, Sunday night football. You're like, man, do I really want to sweat through this game or just enjoy the game? Most of the time, you want to sweat through it. So, you put a couple bucks on a guy to score a touchdown, and it gets to the fourth quarter, and your heart rate's pounding. Like, God, I shouldn't have done it. And then it hits, and you're like, yeah. But if it doesn't, you're like, crap. But, dude, it's always going to be a sweat,
Mm-hmm.
no matter how you look at it. Unless you know for sure this is going to happen, and the odds are like minus 1,600, you're chilling.
Definitely. And he also asked, do bonus bets and risk-free promos actually assist you in the gambling, or are they more of just low hits of cocaine to just keep you
I
around?
mean, it depends how you look at it. If you have money in the account, um, you know, go crazy. Like throw something
Mm-hmm.
really stupid down if you really want to. I don't really recommend that. I mean, there's been a couple of times where like, oh, well, I'll get a bonus bet where it's a no sweat, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna throw down a six legger of first basket scores and pray to God it hits. And then if it doesn't, no worries. I'll get these $5 back and turn it into something. So there's multiple ways to play around it. It's totally, totally up to you. But if you're getting bonus bets or a risk-free bet, then play it how you would play with your real money that's going in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right. Definitely.
And I'm not calling you truck. That's just weird, bro.
Yeah. And yeah, we don't the channel does not have a designated phone, but you're definitely free to continue leaving comments in the comment section. Everybody, if you're watching, just a reminder, leave the video a like. We are quickly approaching 600 subscribers, so would love if you're new and join this conversation. If you hit that subscribe button, and as well join Truck and Parker, Fred, Roy, Lion, R double D, Ronwin Nance. Join everybody down in the comment section here. Join the party. So, and another comment, uh, Parker says, "What if you called them and told them you are a friend with the app and they canceled their app? That would be so funny and messed up." And then Roy says, "Just delete the app, and being told to call the hotline though isn't adequate. There are predatory companies who hire people to make the apps addictive, and the amount of money people spend is insane."
I mean, yeah,
Absolutely.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, agree with that, but I don't know, dude. I'm a guy that you just delete the app, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that hard. That's how I see it. Sorry, Roy. I'm gonna agree with you, but also disagree with you as well. Um, but you can take it how you want.
Awesome, awesome. All right, let's go to the some of the downside. And Roy was just hitting at this point that they're these companies are predatory. They're designed to keep you around for
Yeah.
you to continue using the app. A lot of people, especially it's so easy. Used to be you had to go to the casino, you had to get in your car, drive to the casino, make sure you have cash, make sure you have this or that. It was a whole ordeal. But now all you need is your cell phone,
Yeah.
and the casino's in your pocket.
Yeah. And they made it really easy. Like on DraftKings, let's say you don't have any money in there and you make a bet and you've got like a five legger, four legger, doesn't matter, and you type in $5. Well, it'll pop up a little screen. This shows the $5, 10, 20, or other. You just slide it and it's loaded into your account. Easy as that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean these companies know what they're doing, like to get you addicted. Um, Simple as that. And dude, do you know how many commercials you saw during the Super Bowl
Right.
alone of these? So yes, Roy, I agree with you on the addictive aspect of it. Don't get me wrong. I know these people hire these people, but I'm also a happy person, dude. You got to be strong-minded, dude, and figure out a way to just delete the app or call the number. And you're not gonna want to, but just do it if you're in that big of a hole.
Mm-hmm. Tracking there. Uh,
What's the biggest bet you have
yeah.
made,
Yeah.
lost, and won?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm, it's a good question. I did hit at a couple $1,000s during the NFL season. Um, but that was like $100 bet. The most I've lost, I think it was either 200 or $300. I'm not for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to go back and search it all, but anyway.
Talking some cash though for sure, and some other. We've seen this a couple of times now. Some big high profile cases. Chauncey
Chauncey
Billups.
Billups.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to Fred's point, he just made it, and
Yep.
what was it? The Toronto Raptors, the
Yeah, something
player
like
that
that.
would get injured, and or he'd get injured, leave the game, and someone put tens of thousands of dollars on
Yeah.
him to do poorly.
You know, Fred, I think I can agree with that. Like, I would love to see them get rid of unders, especially in the pro sport atmosphere. Um, I think that would help out a lot because we
Mm-hmm.
are seeing more and more people, especially the professional sports side of things, gamble on themselves. So
Mm-hmm.
I would love personally to get rid of the unders. It just make it so much easier to bet on too.
Right, yeah, and like you have they can only do better. It eliminates
Right.
the. It's hard to intentionally score. Both teams would have to be in on it to hey, let's have this player score 100 points.
Well, you know why
Yeah.
these people are betting on themselves is because these people are I'm this might be a hot take for some people who haven't heard this information and be like, dude, what is dude talking about? Go on YouTube, you're gonna find it all over the place. These people are gambling over the summers on their off season. They owe money to the mafia and all this stuff, and that's why they're betting on themselves. They got to make that money back somehow. So, in order for them to do that, they're getting told, "Hey, you need to do this during the game, so you can make some money back." So, you
Mm-hmm.
know, you can go look. You can go a whole rabbit hole down that on YouTube. Man, it'll get you sucked in pretty quickly.
Right. Mm-hmm. Definitely, and yeah, kind of we meant the Chauncey Billups owed a bunch of back taxes, was in
Yeah.
serious financial debt and financial security.
Yeah.
So,
But you know, to his Parker's point, should athletes be able to bet? No, they can't bet. They sign a contract saying that they can't bet.
mm,
So my buddy Taylor, he's been on my show a couple of times. He works for the Indianapolis Indians, I think it's the AAA team. They're an affiliate with the Pirates. Uh, he signed a contract saying that he's not allowed to bet or even talk about it. So he's just
Oh, really?
working for them. He's not even a
Uh-huh.
player.
Gotcha. Wow. Yeah. So they have some security measures. It appears to be. So definitely a
Yeah.
good one there. Yeah, we've kind of gone through these points with some real life examples. So let's head to the next slide. So something that uh, in DC actually um, earlier today, a couple people sent me this online that Poly Market is opening up a sports bar in the District of Columbia.
Dude, Poly Market and Kalshi, like you can bet on the most wild things. Like you can literally bet on the weather. You could have bet on was there going to be a war? And
Mm,
it would have paid you, I think the odds were like plus 400. I saw some dude on Twitter post it or X, whatever you want to call it. Um, won like $4,000 because he put $100 on it. I'm like, bro,
mm,
this is insane. Like the fact that you can bet on literally everything like you have in the header is absolutely insane. But to go about your point, Parker, yes, people I assume have their family and friends bet for them and they'll just give them some cash under the table or something like that because you can't really track cash. So
mm,
I would assume yes. Um, you'll have to go do some research on that, but from what I've gathered, yeah, 100%.
mm. Right. And back to the Poly Market cow sheet thing. I mentioned this morning on the morning stream, but there was even bets to Zach's point, the supreme leader, if he would be removed from power, and Iran and other, yeah, whether any, if
Literally
there,
everything.
yeah, anything you can think of, there's a way that you can lose money on it. Um, and yeah, it's expanding beyond the world of sports, and it's just kind of the way the culture is shifting, though, in terms of we need everything's on the cell phone, everyone's looking at the cell phone all day,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's just causing a lot of this. Uh, hey, let's bet $1 and see if the police chief does if he arrests somebody or
Yeah.
anything.
It's literally
Yeah.
insane. And
Mm,
dude, I'm not even going to touch that app. So I don't even know what you could bet on. I don't
mm,
know. I haven't done any research on Kalshi or Polymarket to see how it works, like who even owns these companies or whatnot. So you'll have to debrief me on that if you have any information on that. But I'm just gonna stick with my two, and I'm good with that. So
mm. That might actually be something we can check into the future. Maybe do a deep
yeah,
dive about Kalshi and Poly, all those guys. Um, yeah, maybe one day, the show's going to get so big, people start betting on how long the
yeah,
airtime is, and
yeah.
how many subscribers will
Well,
Awoken with Aulden be by X date. Yeah.
yeah. Now the big thing is rain bet. So like, you see these guys like, oh, will a chicken cross the road? And I don't even know how that game works. I just see a car get dropped. I don't really know how far he has to make it, but yeah, you got a lot of that going on too. So the younger generation is definitely being targeted very heavily, and you just see it more and more.
Even any Instagram reel, whether it's, hey, let's ask the Walmart employee to help us find something, and then during the middle of the video, they're playing a round of blackjack or they're playing the
Yeah,
crossy road game,
yeah,
and
exactly.
it's shoved all over these people, shoved everywhere.
Yeah.
So definitely concerning.
Well, I mean, people are chasing big hits, so they see one person make big money.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, well, that can be me. So let me just drop $10,000 real quick
Right.
and hope I win. And that's just not the smart way to do it. Like you got to understand how it works and how money works. Like your financials are going to be different than someone else's.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have to understand that, and it's not always about chasing wins. And I've learned that with sports betting as well. Like you take it where you can get. So if I'm betting something down for plus 100 odds, like I'm gonna turn 10 into another 10, so I'm gonna make $10 profit, right? So
Hmm.
you take it where you can, but what we're seeing is a lot of these people are throwing big money down, and they're losing a lot. So uh, to go to Parker's point, I don't know if you can bet with silver or gold, and
Hmm.
call she or poly market. I have no freaking clue. I know you can't do it with DraftKings or FanDuel. I
Hmm.
don't have any gold or silver to auction off, so I mean I have no idea.
Hmm. Tracking. Yeah. Uh, there we go. Okay, so yeah, that's just a little overview about everything being able uh, that is on the table, and let's actually look at the people who are making this money. It's probably not you. To Parker's point, you can lose your whole month paycheck in about a couple of hours if you're
Yeah.
not careful. And the people that really benefit, though, it's the fat cats sitting up in the press box. The $10 million suite that their company owns at the sporting arena.
Well,
They're the
it
ones that are winning.
yeah, I mean it's really the company itself. Like if you own FanDuel, you're making billions of dollars every single year.
Hmm.
And that's just money that you can just put into your check and into your pocket. And if you graduated from a university and you want to be a donor, hey, here's $1 billion. Go make something happen. You know what I mean? So it's just crazy, bro.
And we do see when people, some of these athletes do come out on top, right? I'm sure there are several examples and stories of young, maybe they grew up in a bad situation, maybe not much money around the home growing up, and maybe these athletes say, I can get an NIL deal and help. We can pay off the house or we can pay off the car. We can
Yeah.
maybe grandma can retire now. She doesn't have to keep working. Maybe we can let her retire or something like that. You also have the fans, right? To sometimes it's fun gambling, especially if you win, but a lot of the times that's not the case.
Yeah.
And so are fans actually, whether the integrity of the game is now in jeopardy or at question, are the fans actually winning in that regard? So something to really think about.
Yeah.
Mm.
Speaking of the top earner, college sports for NIL, Arch Manning estimated about 5.4 to $6.8 million.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's personally I would be ecstatic if if that was in my back pocket.
Oh my gosh, yeah, for just having that last name. Because what did Texas, did they even make the playoff this year?
No, not that I
Yeah,
know
so
of.
they paid this guy over $6 million,
Yeah, well he's
and
coming
yeah.
back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still a lot of money to have minimal success. Almost like IU basketball, didn't they? They spent what, $10 million more than the next program and didn't even
Dude, IU
qualify.
didn't even yeah, they didn't even get close. Well,
Mm-hmm.
sort of. They were I think they were the first four out, but
Mm-hmm.
they were a couple wins away for sure. And so were we. West Virginia was a couple wins away as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, March Madness is here, dude. I need to
Oh yeah.
check the score of this Miami of Ohio game because I put money on Miami of Ohio to beat SMU.
Mm.
SMU was favored to win by 7.5.
Wow. Huh.
So Miami was a good one to bet on for money line.
Yeah, maybe we can check. Maybe we can check that out
It's a
here in the
7 point
future.
game. Miami of Ohio is winning.
Okay, nice. Okay, cool. And a kind of question for the audience, question for everyone here watching tonight. Thank you for being here. Is college, is it broken? Right? Do you think college sports is broken? And if it is, do you think it can be repaired, or what does it need to do to not uh, be at risk of decay.
Yeah. I don't think college sports is broken. College sports will be college sports, no matter how much money is in it or not.
Hmm.
It's just whether the transfer portal is going to fix itself, um, is the bigger question. But dude, no matter how crazy it gets, college sports will always be a thrill, whether it's March Madness, whether it's opening day of, you know, college football and game days there, that'll always stay. So, um, to go to your point, no, it'll never be broken from that aspect.
Kraken.
Who should I pick to win the tournament?
Hmm. Yeah, help Roy with
Yeah.
his bracket.
So here, let me give you my final four real quick. Alden, do you care if we go into that?
Yeah, no, that and everybody. That's the end of the slide deck. That was our
Okay.
last slide, so we'll just continue the conversation here.
Yeah. So here's my final four. I've got Duke, just because of Boozer. I think that team is dominant. They are a true number one, if not the best team in the country. You got Illinois, who I put down. They are a 3 seed. Keen Wagler is outstanding. I think he's guard play is what's going to win you games in this tournament. I took Arkansas in the top right corner because I really like
Mm-hmm.
Acuff. I like Brazil as well. And then I took Iowa State in the bottom right. So I got rid of Michigan and I got rid of Arizona. But if you really want to figure out who to bet on, I would probably say Arizona or Duke. I know they're number one seed, so nothing crazy, but those are probably the two main ones that I like. Just for bracket purposes, you know, I'm going with the Razorbacks to win it all. I think Acuff Jr. is the best player right now from the last 2 weeks. He's putting up unreal stats. He did it in the SEC championship. So
Mm-hmm.
he is so much fun to watch. That team, that offense can play very, very well. So, um, and they're putting up 90 points per game. So that's why I like Arkansas to win it all in my eyes. Now, I told some people this today, and they're like, dude, that's crazy. But hey, I'm not putting money on Arkansas. I'm putting in my bracket. But if I'm putting money on anyone, I would probably either take Michigan with Lindenberg or Arizona if I'm putting actual money on it.
Okay. Hmm. Yeah, not a bad pick. It seemed Arizona was in that consideration to be the top team all year long. I haven't paid as much attention to it as maybe in a normal year for myself, but it seems like there's a lot of solid teams. Um, Duke and UConn being in the same region, that might be an exciting one
Yeah.
as well. Got St. John. I'm looking at got pulled up on my monitor
Yeah.
here. Um, and yeah, so here are a couple other comments. At Jenny Harrell says, excited for March Madness. Good evening, Jenny. Thank you for joining the stream this evening. And Parker, with a couple other questions. Whoop whoop, go Razorbacks. So yeah, we got someone who is very a little excited about your bracket selection. It seems.
Yeah. Yes, that is Tom Brady. Yeah. It's Tom Brady and Drake May together.
Mm,
My biggest upset. This is gonna surprise a lot of people. I have always said this for years. Um, it's a team that I never have trusted just because of the conference that they're in. I don't trust Gonzaga whatsoever. So I ended up taking Kennesaw to beat Gonzaga, a 14 versus 3. As crazy as that sounds, get Gonzaga off the board.
mm. Yeah, we have a running joke that how much everyone hates Gonzaga, and our friend we nothing that brings us more joy and uh, prosperity and happiness seeing Gonzaga eliminated from the
Yeah.
tournament each year.
If the Zags were in a better conference, I think it'd be a different story,
Mm,
but they're not. So just go ahead and give me them to lose. Also, Alden, I hate to do this to you, but Santa Clara, I've got them beating Kentucky in the opening rounds.
Probably. Yep.
Um, I'm sorry,
Crazy.
but I just don't think Kentucky's that good. I think Santa Clara's offense is better. I think they shoot the
Mhm.
ball better. So as much as I hate it, bruh, that's that's what I'm rolling with.
Yeah, dude. Like it's been Kentucky. I know Kentucky spent a whole lot of money on their team, and they're mediocre. A 7 seed with all of that money, something not huge. So let's see. Parker has another good question. Seeing if Florida can go back to back, or will Houston knock them off, or maybe Alabama?
Oh yeah, Florida, they got two really good big guys down low. Um, Florida got exposed against Vandy. I think Vandy's guard play really hurt them. If Florida has to go up against a team that has a tremendous guard play, which I'm assuming they will, if Vandy can beat McNeese and Nebraska and have to go up against Vandy again, I don't see Florida winning that game.
Mm-hmm.
I think Vandy really, really has their number. And don't get me wrong, dude. I love Lee. Lee is awesome. He is fantastic point guard. He can turn it on when he needs to. He can pass the ball extremely, extremely well. They got a guy, I think Hughes down low, if that's his name. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. Florida's a tricky one. I don't think they're the true number one seed. If there's the four main number ones are Duke, Michigan, Arizona, and Florida, I would put Florida as number four in that ranking.
Okay, tracking. Yeah, they're 7 losses. That's a lot for a 1 seed. But
Yeah, there's just something about them. It's I just it just doesn't make sense to me.
mm,
Whereas Duke, I'm like, yeah, you guys are good. You guys are real good.
no, number one overall seed, and nothing else kindles joy as much as seeing Duke eliminated every year as well.
Yeah, I know, dude.
You
I
know.
feel you on that
Mm,
one. I just, dude, with Boozer playing as well as he is and carrying that offense, it's just tough not to pick Duke to go to the
mm,
championship or the Final Four. I'm, yeah.
mm. Yeah, our double D is for Texas Christian, so maybe Texas Christian can
I've
do something here.
I've got Texas Christian losing first round to Ohio State.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Any other games that you're looking forward to in particular?
So tomorrow we've got a lot of good games. So SMU just tied it with Miami of Ohio.
Mm,
TCU and Ohio State kick it off 11:15. Watch out for Troy, Nebraska. I think that one can be a closer game. It is a 12 and a half point favorite. That one could be really close. So is USF and Louisville. I think USF actually pulls that out. So if you're betting on that game, I'd probably take the plus 4.5 spread. And then the other big games, VCU could very well upset UNC without Caleb Wilson. He's out for the season. But yeah, those are probably our. And then High Point of Wisconsin. That's another tough game. Like High Point can shoot the crap out of the ball, dude.
mm,
Like they're such a high octane offense. They've got 3-point shooters. They get down the court. And I said this in one of my podcasts. Watch out for them. Like if they're clicking, Wisconsin will lose that game.
mm. Good analysis, good predictions there. I'm
Yep.
sure it's a political audience, so it may not be the most sport savvy, but have
Hey,
looks
this
like a
is
couple
March
people.
Madness.
Yeah, man.
Everybody does March Madness.
Everyone kind of has a kind of like the
Yeah,
election. Everyone has an opinion around election
exactly.
time, so
This is this is the greatest time of the year.
you know it. So I did. So going to pause 1 sec on the sports. So wanted to share you guys some breaking news. Had a fan text this in about the situation we discussed earlier tonight with Joseph Kent. Had a friend text into the show saying that Joe Kent is under FBI investigation. The gentleman who resigned from the counter terrorism office yesterday. So we're going to see if we can find an article real quick and see what they're talking about with the Joe Kent. But if anyone in the chat has a question for Zach when it comes to uh, sports or even pick his brain about politics, he'll tell you all you need to know about politics as well. So um, let me pull this up. Let's go to this website.
Oh, I'm not
All right,
that.
so
I'm gonna
yeah.
have to hop off here in about 3 minutes.
Okay,
Um,
tracking.
I gotta open up the studio tomorrow, so I gotta be up at 4 a.m.
Tracking. Yeah, we're almost an hour and a half in. We'll just kind of briefly go through. Okay, this is a pretty shorter article here. Uh, Quote the FBI, and this story is from Semfar. Quote the FBI opened a leak investigation into a top former intelligence official who resigned Tuesday in protest over the war in Iran. The investigation into former National Counterterrorism Center Director Joe Kent is focused on allegations that he improperly shared classified information. Four people with direct knowledge of the investigation told Simfar. In his resignation letter, Kent wrote that Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation and accused President Donald Trump of starting the war because of pressure from Israel. The investigation predates Kent's departure, the four people said. One of them described it as being months long. Trump aides and allies denounced Kent as a leaker immediately after his resignation became public. So we'll be talking about this tomorrow morning on the stream a little bit deeper. Just want to get that out for you tonight. And Parker asked Zach attached, did you do college sports?
No, I actually didn't. Unfortunately, I had a lot of injuries growing up. I was ranked very, very highly as a catcher in baseball growing up, and then when you break your hand 3 times in back-to-back-to-back years at the start of the season, um, calf muscle and all that stuff. So, unfortunately, no.
Okay. Uh, yeah, Parker, I did the 100. I was a sprinter in college. I did 50 free, 100 free, and 100 butterfly for my swimming.
Yep.
And then Roy says thoughts on Mark Winmull and Rand Paul. Yeah, that's pretty feisty hearing this morning. Got to check some of it out. But um, yeah, we'll talk about that a little more in the morning, Roy. So definitely come back tomorrow morning. I know we gotta get sleep around here and spend a little over around an hour and a half of a show. So, all right, everybody. Big thanks to Zach for joining us this evening on the stream. Happy to talk, do a little March Madness preview, NIL, sports gambling,
Yeah.
all that good stuff. And we will be back with you sometime tomorrow morning. We'll be back walking around DC, hanging out, chatting with you guys. And let's see if there's anything else there.
Yeah, man, this has been fun, dude.
Yeah.
The comments have been outstanding. The questions, and feel free to jump over to my channel, guys, at Zemo Sports on YouTube and TikTok.
Yeah.
If you guys are interested in listening in on some sports talk. So Alden's on
Yeah.
there.
We'll definitely put your link in the
Yeah.
chat or in the bio after this video so people can find Zach's page
Yeah.
easily for everybody.
Parker, you were great.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Well, I think that's we're going to sign off. If you please come back in the morning. If you're new to the channel, please leave the video a like, hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 600 subscribers. Actually, here, let's see.
You're at like 594, I thought, from last time
Yeah,
I saw.
yeah. So we're rapidly approaching
Yep.
600. We'll hit there in no time. So
If Arizona loses in the first round, don't come at me.
yeah. Yeah, that would be pretty.
That'd be embarrassing.
Yeah,
I'd
no
probably
good.
retire from all sports talk.
Yep, just be done. So, but okay, everybody. Well, I think that's our show for the evening. So, and you have been awoken with Aulden about everything. All right, everybody. Well, we will. Yeah, we're going to head out. Once again, thanks to Zach. Thank you for all of you for tuning in tonight. So we will, yeah, we'll check out, hang out with you guys in DC tomorrow morning. All right, much love, everybody. Good night. Thank you again, Zach.
Yep.